Hello and good morning. Coming to you live on Tuesday. I like to call that Transformation Tuesday because I like to look back at how things have changed and how I've improved. As a matter of fact, if you want to know exactly what I did to lose over 50 pounds, drop me a comment, send me a message. I've got some tools and resources I can send to you, help you out along your journey. If that's something that you're interested in, losing a little bit of weight, staying consistent, building habits, that type of stuff, I've got some information for you. So drop me a message and I will be happy to send some of that to you. So let's talk about today's call to action, today's question. The thing that we're looking to answer today is, how does meal prepping help you stay consistent with your diet? And that's actually really, really simple. The bottom line is it takes decisions off the table. By prepping your meals ahead of time and planning them ahead of time, you can push aside all of those cravings that you're going to get later on in the day. Let me tell you a little secret about cravings. Cravings are not hunger. I know that you think, come around noon or whatever, and you start getting that craving for, whatever sandwich or sweets or whatever it is that you get. Potato chips, really bad. Potato chips are a really good example. So let's talk about potato chips. Let's say right around noon you say, man, I really want those potato chips, and you're really wanting some of those. That's a craving. That's not really hunger. Hunger is a biological process. That's when your gut and your stomach is empty and wants more energy. That's not really a thing that we run into in the modern world very much. A lot of people think of hunger when they get these cravings, but in the modern world, we so rarely are without food that we don't really feel hunger or understand hunger. If you want to understand hunger, go at least 4 days without eating. Then you'll be able to understand what hunger really is and compare that to a craving. I know that sounds like a long time and you think, well, that's impossible. People do it all the time. You can go weeks without eating. When it comes to fasting and things like that, people do it all the time. Traditionally, most societies, most cultures would eat one big meal a day, maybe two, and then they'd snack around throughout the day. That's the way hunters and gatherers did it. That's kind of our genetic makeup. So if you think that the idea is you need to eat every couple of hours or something like that, that's just not true. So that brings us into, so what are we talking about then? If wanting to eat those potato chips at noon, if that isn't hunger, then what is it? That's a craving, and a craving is really more of a habit. What happens is every single day you eat these chips and your body releases endorphins because it's got all of these things that you're kind of biologically programmed to enjoy. Things like fats and sugars. In this case with like potato chips, it's carbs. Although a lot of potato chips and stuff, they have lots of sugar in it and lots of high fructose corn syrup and other ingredients that you don't know. They've got all these preservatives, all this stuff that the food industry kind of throws in that's not real food. But it's the kind of stuff that, makes your body, addicted to it. So what you end up with is these cravings. And these cravings make you feel like you want that stuff, but it's not real. It's not hunger. It's a craving, which is much more analogous to a habit than it is to anything else. So how does meal prepping help that? Well, you can offload that kind of decision making, and you can say to yourself, I'm not going to eat this because I've already got my lunch prepared. I'm not going to eat those potato chips because I've already got my broccoli and my chicken breast already, and I'm going to eat that instead. So you can kind of offload those decisions and not fall into that trap of, oh man, I'm starving, I'm just going to run to the vending machine and get something to eat, because you're not really starving. Now, one thing that you're going to run into, that people run into all the time, is they're going to have to white knuckle those cravings early on, and you are going to have to white knuckle those cravings early on. There are going to be times, especially in the beginning, as you're starting to change your diet, change your habits, that those cravings are really going to be powerful, and you're going to want to give in to them. That will go away. So in time, that will go away. You have to trust me on this. If you stay consistent and you stay away from those types of foods that cause those addictive foods that cause those kinds of things, cakes, candies, processed foods, candy bars, potato chips, that kind of stuff. If you stay away from that kind of stuff, you will be in much better shape, and in the long run, the cravings will subside. Trust me on that. If you would like to get into some transformation, if you'd like to improve your health, your fitness, lose a little bit of weight, again, drop me a message or drop me a comment. Either one will be fine. You can get a hold of me. I will be happy to help you out. I've got some tools and resources, and I can show you exactly what you need to do to drop 50 pounds or more. Not effortlessly. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not, the easiest, 6-pack abs in 6 weeks. That's not true, but I can help you out with, if you're stuck, if you've had trouble staying committed to things in the past, I've got tools and resources that can help you out in that regard. So drop me a comment, let me know, and I will see you all tomorrow.